Hey guys, welcome back to Sam's Garden Project. Today I wanted to talk about some of my spring and summer garden goals. I've got 6 garden goals I want to talk about, so let's go through them. Alright, so my first garden goal is to grow lots of flowers. Obviously this is good for the beneficial insects. I want to bring lots of life and biodiversity back into my garden. I think the original owners who lived here, they just poisoned everything because it's all rocks, it's all pavers, and when we bought the house, everything was pulled out, dead, nothing was living in it, no worms in the soil. So I really want to bring lots of bugs back, butterflies, bees, worms, all that biodiversity. Also, I want to have the house full of flowers. So over the past year, I've been searching op shops and Salvation Armies and all that kind of stuff, Facebook Marketplace, for any glass jars, any vases that would be pretty or decorative for the house, and I want to fill them with flowers just to decorate the house, bring some colour, bring some life back into the house. So my second garden goal would be to grow veggies that I actually enjoy eating. Last summer I dedicated half a bed to growing eggplant. And I've never had eggplant before, so that was a bit of a mistake because I didn't actually enjoy it and I wasted half my garden bed because I need quite a bit of space, eggplant, so I'm not going to do that again. So garden goal number 3, compost and to feed the soil. So a big goal of mine is soil health. I'm really trying to get that soil health back up there. Since the beginning of the year really, I've been layering horse poo, sugarcane mulch, coffee grounds, whatever I can find, dried leaves, all the leaves falling off in autumn. So I'm really trying to layer that up, letting them decompose a little bit, and then come spring and summer I should be able to plant directly into those garden beds and have nice luscious soil. I might need to get some worms and add a handful of worms into each garden bed, but we'll just see what happens. So building up the soil health will be good for future harvests, for the vegetables that are grown. They'll be bigger, they'll be healthier, they'll be more resilient to pests and disease, and also to drought if we are going to experience that, but maybe not. That's not what the Bureau of Meteorology is saying. This summer it might be another La Nina, so we'll see if we get lots of rain, but it doesn't affect us as much compared to New South Wales and Queensland. But still, you try to build up that resilience in the soil, in the plants, so that they can deal with whatever is thrown at them. Number 4, maximize my growing space. So I want to utilize trellises and vertical space. I've only got one type of trellis at the moment, which I've got my snow peas growing on. I want to try and put some more vertical space in, just for like those big what's it called, the beans that grow up instead of bush beans, the other ones for beans, for loofahs, for vining like pumpkins and melons and all that stuff. That's good. I've only got limited space. I'm on a suburban block, haven't got acres for vines to spread out, so I want to grow up and take things off the ground, away from the dogs because they wreck quite a bit, and the chickens where they can't reach them as well. Maximizing growing space again will be interplanting, so growing faster growing crops in between longer growing crops, and putting lettuces in between long growing crops, and just making the most of that space with interplantings, just so I always harvesting stuff. I don't want to be wasting time, and I don't want to be wasting my space. On that note as well, consecutive planting, so making sure that I get seeds in the ground every few weeks so that I have plants ready every few weeks. I'm a stickler for only planting one planting and having lots of produce ready all at the same time. So at the moment I've got my broccoli, it's all ready, so I'm harvesting it all and trying to eat as much broccoli as I can in 1 week, and I want to try and space it out so I have them ready over a longer period of time. Alright, so goal number 5 is to harvest. I'm in the mood for harvesting and preserving and having bulk food in my kitchen. I'm ready for it. I want high producing varieties, I want bulk produce. I don't have time for things that don't grow and don't produce. So I think I mentioned in my last video the Yakumo snow giant peas that I've got. I'm not growing them again because they're not high producing, they take up a lot of space, there's no bulk. I harvest 1 or 2 peas at a time. I'm not going to eat 1 or 2 peas for dinner. I want a handful, I want lots, I want a bowl full of peas. So same with the summer varieties and summer vegetables. I want high producing varieties that take up minimal space but produce enough, so the balance is there, so they're taking enough space and they're producing enough so it's offset. I want to be preserving, I want to be eating fresh foods. I'm going to say 80% from the garden, so that's really on me to try and get the garden focusing and producing that much so I can eat primarily from the garden. And that ties into goal number 6, is to preserve for the rest of the year. So obviously everyone knows the last few months the cost of living has gone crazy, groceries have gone crazy, and I'm just really excited about being able to eat what I grow. It's gonna be fresh, it's healthy, you know where it's come from, less food miles, less carbon emissions, and all that jazz. So the simple things like beans, zucchinis, carrots, lettuce, all that kind of stuff that grows really well in a warmer environment, I want to grow lots of it. I'm not too sure about lettuce, but you eat a lot of that in summer anyway. But like the beans, you can freeze them. Zucchini, you can preserve them. The carrots, you can freeze them as well, or you can can them. But we'll see, that's in a whole nother area that I gotta go through. So stuff that freezes easily, I can do it in like vacuum sealed bags in the freezer, so for produce in winter and the rest of the year. So I got lots of peach trees, canning peaches and syrup. I need to get better at that. The last 2 seasons haven't had the time to deal with the peaches and they've gone to waste, and I don't want to be wasting things. Dehydration of herbs. I have a 10 tray dehydrator, so I'm ready to be dehydrating and preserving the herbs. Obviously, yep, to try to see how long they last. I don't want to be buying dried sage when I've got sage growing, okay? Same with everything, just dehydrate raspberry leaves, whatever's growing, make the most of it, learn its herbalism, like its medicinal properties and benefits, and try and incorporate that into my life, into my diet. A big thing, seed saving for next season and flower pressing, and just making the most of the resources that the garden provides. So with the seeds, that's important because each generation that you save is getting acclimatized to your environment and to your climate, and theoretically they should produce better and better the more that you save a generation of seed. Flower pressing is great. That's also with the goal number 1 of growing lots of flowers. You preserve the flowers. So flower pressing, flower vases, the pressed flowers are good for cards, for decorations, for arts pieces, whatever you want. So I'm really keen on doing that and utilize everything from the garden. So that includes water, sunlight, energy, heat, soil, growing space, utilizing it all, not wasting anything. I'm going into this summer season with an abundance mindset, and I am going to create an abundance. So watch this space. Everything has a purpose. I'm not going to grow things that don't have a purpose. And yeah, I'm excited for it. Let's see what happens, guys. So it's not too far away. I'm going to be planting some spring seeds soon. I've set up my greenhouse with some wire shelving units and a thermometer so I can check for consistent temperature, and now I've got the space as well. So everything's happening. So I'm looking forward to what's coming in the future. If you could like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. Then you can keep follow along with our growing journey, and come along for the ride. It's going to be a great spring and summer season. I can't wait for the warmer weather. I'm not liking this cold, I'm over it. So see you next time, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to Sam's Garden Project. Today I wanted to talk about My dogs are nuts.